Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Alex Steblovskiy, and welcome back to another episode of Quarantine Marketing, a podcast powered by Oceanus digital marketing agency out in the Boston area. But we're not talking about digital marketing today. We're not even talking about sales today. And if you want to learn about sales and marketing, visit my co-host, Jonathan Severe. He has great content out there for you. It's gonna help you get through some of the obstacles right now we are facing in regards to marketing and sales. He's a genius. Why not listen to a genius? You guys are listening to me, so obviously I'm a genius. I'm kidding, but I know a set of skill or two. So does Jonathan. He knows marketing. He knows how to get you out of the rut. Go listen to this podcast if you do not want to listen about mindset stuff and attitude today. But just to let you know, you do need your attitude in order to focus on your sales. Your attitude and your mindset has to be in the right place in order to be successful with what you're doing. So maybe you guys can correlate both videos together. But today we're going to talk a little bit about your attitude. And what does that mean when we talk about attitude? Well, I've talked to some of my clients, I've talked to some of my acquaintances, and everybody kind of struggles with the same exact thing. And their struggle is, getting back to the normalcy of things. Because right now, we're quarantined in our own mind. And we're getting back to work really quickly, really fast, without our own intent, where we were having a luxurious life, just relaxing, watching Netflix, watching all the Hulu and all the video games that we've got to play with all those stimulus checks and the extra $600 we were receiving on unemployment. I know some friends were making more money sitting on their ass at home, not doing shit, than they were working, getting those unemployed checks. But is that what we really want to do? Do we really want to just sit at home and get a check every single week that we don't deserve? I don't know. I don't think so. At least if you're listening to this video, I don't think you're one of those people. You're one of those people with a growth mindset. You want to grow more. It's $600 extra. There's opportunities to make $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $1 million extra. Why not take those opportunities instead? My whole point of today's podcast is we're going to talk a little bit about Carol Dweck. And if you guys do not know who Carol Dweck is, she's a psychologist out of Stanford, and she wrote the book called Mindset. And according to the Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck, your beliefs play a pivotal role in what you want and whether you achieve it. Dweck has found that it is your mindset that plays a significant role in determining the achievement and success that you have. Well, yeah, it is your mindset, because at the end of the day, mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. That someone is you. What are your attitudes? People with a fixed mindset, and they learned this from the beginning, and this is what's probably stopping some great leaders and entrepreneurs and executives today. People with a fixed mindset believe that these qualities are inborn, fixed, and unchangeable. So what does that mean? It means that you can't learn a certain skill. You're telling me if I don't shoot the ball outside playing basketball from the free throw line, that if I shoot the ball in one certain way for 100 times, I'm not going to get better? It's false. I'm going to pick up the rhythm. I'm going to understand how much I need to shoot the whole jump shot approach. Sorry, I'm not a basketball coach. But I'm sure the technique and my approach to my free throw will get better after 100 shots. Correct? That's a growth mindset. I don't have the mindset that if I take 100 shots, I'm going to have the same exact result. It's not true. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to take 100 shots and go to the NBA. No, I have to take a lot more shots than that. And yes, there are certain things in life like height and the way I jump, and probably LeBron would block me in a second. But there are other tolls that play of why I'm not a great basketball player, of course. But it doesn't mean I can't change being better at basketball. Right? Because I have a growth mindset. The growth mindset, on the other hand, it's a belief that these abilities can be developed and strengthened by a way of commitment and hard work. So if I put in the work, I should get the results. Right? They're not always going to come right away. So let's stick to the basketball, right? Since basketball's coming back July 31st, I'm excited. But let's stick to basketball. The players that are in the NBA right now, they've given up their whole life to play basketball. They've practiced every single day. They take thousands of shots on a weekly basis to get better and finesse their game, build the craft to their game, work on their techniques, work on their moves, work on that second step, whatever it is. It's the same with business. It doesn't come right away. You're not going to get sales right away if you're just starting, unless you're lucky. Unless you have a great product, yeah, you will. But if you're a consultant, you got to put certain criteria into place. If you're an agency, you got to put certain criteria into place. If you're a restaurant, you got to put certain criteria into place in order to be successful. The way you market, the way you sell, the way your food is, the way you operate, the way your service is, whatever it is. There are certain things that you got to put into place. You got to practice. You got to learn them. You got to execute them. Let's go back to restaurants. A restaurant's not just going to open and hope for the best. That's a fixed approach. That's a fixed mindset approach. You thinking you're going to open, the business is just going to come. No, you have to train your staff. You have to train your operators. You have to train your marketing team. You have to deliver the message correctly. You have to understand the brand purpose and the mission of the restaurant. You got to understand the integrity of your foods. There's so much that go into place. Operational stuff, right? There's so much. But in order to get all your operations flowing correctly, you have to make sure you train yourself and everybody that is supporting your restaurant. Correct? That's a growth mindset. You strengthen yourself. You're putting commitment to your hard work. So why are we talking about these things today, right? And we're going to go back to Carol Dweck's approach on what she did with the kids and how we relate it back to ourselves. Dweck began her research on this topic by tackling a question. What happens if you give kids a difficult problem to solve? Some children viewed the problem as a challenge and a learning experience. Other children felt that it was impossible to solve and that their intelligence was being held up for scrutiny and judgment. The kids in the first group had growth mindsets. When faced with something difficult, they believed that they could learn and develop the skills they need to solve it. The second group of kids had fixed mindsets. They believed that there was nothing they could do to tackle a problem that was out of their reach of their knowledge and abilities. So, when you look at these things, don't we face these problems every single day? How to get sales during COVID times. There are some individuals that said you cannot do it. You just can't get sales done. It's impossible. Maybe if you're a restaurant. But yet, there are still restaurants that are busy. So what did some restaurants do right? What did some restaurants do wrong? Now, I'm kind of relating everything back, and it leads back, again, mindset is an attitude. I want you guys to remember that. Right? So you ask that question, and there's some people that will tell you can't really do anything about it. And there's some people that said, all right, well, we just have to develop ways and we have to develop a structure to still get sales. And it goes back to ourselves right now. So we're stuck in a mindset for about 3 months as salespeople because we were furloughed or whatever it was, or just difficulties with companies and things of that nature. That we can't get sales done. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. We're still running and operating, doing podcasts, doing new things. Yes, there may have been a decline of how you're generating more revenue on a month-to-month basis. But that doesn't mean you can't get them. So I want you guys to think about that. All these little approaches that she did with the kids, it's the same thing that we have to do as adults, right? I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to ask the same statements and questions that Carol Dweck asked. And it's, what is your mindset right now, right? Do you have a fixed or growth mindset? So start reading the following statements and decide which ones you agree with the most. You can get them right below as well, but I want you to think about this. The first statement is, people have a certain amount of intelligence and there isn't any way to change it. Do you believe that's true or not? No matter who you are, there isn't much you can do to improve your basic abilities and personality. Is that true or not? People are capable of changing who they are. Is that true or not? You can learn new things and improve your intelligence. Is that true or not? People either have a particular talent or they don't. You can't just acquire talent for things like music, writing, art, and athletics. True or not? Studying, working hard, and practicing new skills are all ways to develop new talents and abilities. Right? Is that true or not? So if you agreed with the first, second, and fifth statement, then you would probably have a more of a fixed mindset. Meaning, we have a certain amount of intelligence, which is not true. We can always learn more. We can always pick up a book and learn something, right? And this is me. I just don't have a fixed mindset. But if you had agreed with 3, 4, and 6, you more than likely have a growth mindset, right? Because you believe in changing the way you are. You believe that studying hard work and practicing new skills will always adapt to new talents and abilities. And you can always learn new things such as intelligence. In the fifth statement, which says people have either particular talents or they don't, you can't just acquire talent for things like music, writing, and art and athletics. That's not true. We talked about this earlier. If I take 100 shots at a basketball hoop, they're all eventually going to get better. I am going to get better from the free throw line, whether if I didn't practice it. And I think that goes with anybody. With anybody capable, strong enough to put the ball into the net, I think they'll develop a better approach. They'll develop a better rhythm to their shot. They'll develop a better system. Everything is systematic, even in basketball, even in sports. You can become talented by lifting lots of weights, by getting as strong as you can, by working on your physique and working on understanding the fundamentals of any game. And you should be able to become good. Yes, size does matter. In my case, I'm only 5'11". I don't think I'll be a great basketball player. I think I'll get blocked by LeBron or Draymond Green or somebody very good on the defensive end that's just going to say, Alex, sorry, go back to marketing. But we can't be good at everything. It doesn't mean that we can't learn. So it doesn't mean that I can't study to be good at basketball. I might not make it to the NBA because just due to my age, but it doesn't mean I can't do it. I'm not going to go prove it to you guys though. I'm going to prove it to you guys by building this great podcast for you and educating you guys with knowledge and working on your mindset and working on your sales tactics and just developing you. That is my approach. That's what I want to do in life. That's what makes me happy. But if you have a fixed mindset, it doesn't mean you can't change it. I just started with this podcast, right? I decided that I'm going to grow myself in other ways, in other areas, in different avenues. I'm not good at looking at a camera. I never was. I always stuttered. It takes me 300 tries to get this out here. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say to you, look, I can do this in one try. No, I can't. Sometimes it takes time to develop a great video, to develop great content. Looking at a camera is kind of hard. It's intimidating. But you learn. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, mindset is an attitude. And if you fix your attitude towards things you want to accomplish and put your mind towards it, fix your attitude and make sure you're destined to one goal, you will get there. If you have a fixed mindset, you can change it. You can go out and learn something. You can go out and develop a new ability that you've been looking to develop. Have you been looking to maybe figure out how to fish? Well, that stuff is out there. You can learn. You can learn what kind of bait to use. You can learn what kind of rod to buy. You can learn how to catch different fishes and attract different fishes to your lure. If you're learning how to sing, you can work on your vocals. You can work on your scripts. You can work on the copy that you put for your song, whatever it is. There are abilities, there's opportunities to go out there and learn. And this is why we're here, is try to educate you guys to think a little bit differently. Think a little bit outside your realm in all sorts of fashions, essentially. So I challenge you guys this week, because this is not more of an educational podcast rather than a challenge. I challenge you guys, if you guys feel like you have a fixed mindset on something, I challenge you to learn how to go about that. I challenge you to go ahead and achieve that goal of yours for the week. I challenge you to learn something new. I challenge you to be innovative this week.